know why testing, especially when the test is done too early, does not replace the need to wear masks, limit your exposure to other people, and social distance. A woman plans to have dinner with 5 members of her extended family on Thursday. The Saturday before the dinner, she goes to brunch at a friend's house. She takes off her mask to eat, and after the meal to pose for photos. Another guest at the brunch has COVID-19, is asymptomatic, and does not know that they are infected. On Monday morning, the woman goes to a testing site and gets tested in advance of her Thursday dinner. On Wednesday morning, she receives a negative test result and informs her family that she will be coming over for dinner on Thursday and that she does not have COVID. The woman goes to dinner on Thursday believing it is safe to do so, takes off her mask and eats at the table with her family. On Friday, she finds out that the brunch guests tested positive for COVID-19 and that they were infectious during the brunch. She gets tested again, and this time, she receives a positive test result. She realizes all of her family members were exposed, and 3 go on to develop COVID-19. Deputy Mayor?
Good morning, everyone. Great day. Thank you so much. If you cannot tell, I am smiling ear to ear because it is a great day for us and everyone who has worked on this project. I just want to say something like real quickly. You know, in the face of adversity, a lot of us here today have done something special throughout the entire course of this last year. We have dedicated our lives to service, and service requires fortitude. And that's the key inspiration that we were able to use today to push us through and to deliver these projects for our seniors. So I thank you all on behalf of the Dantes Partners, Gilbane, and the Delta sorority. We are thanking all of you for making this project possible. And with that, talk about service, talk about a dedicated public servant that serves Ward 5. I'm just glad that we are very, very fortunate to be able to deliver a project in Ward 5 for Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie, who also chairs the Economic Development Committee for the District of Columbia. Thank you very much.
It's so cold, it's hard to clap out here this morning, isn't it? Man, I'm going to keep this really brief because my glasses are already fogging up. I want to say thank you and good morning to everybody. I want to welcome you all here. Thank Polly Donaldson, who's director of DACD, obviously Bud Benitier, who's managing principal of Dante's Partners. I want to thank everybody else who's contributed to this, the folks who helped to build it, the residents who had to be here and see it go up, but also thank Mayor Bowser for her continued commitment to housing affordability here in the District of Columbia. Let's give her a round of applause, please. I also want to thank the folks from the Langston Civic Association, Wanted Diggs, and all the folks who are committed to this neighborhood and making sure that it's a great place to live and raise a family. I know we got Commissioner Blacknell I saw here earlier as well. Thank you, Commissioner, for your continued public service. I also want to thank all these folks in red, the women of Delta Theta Sigma Incorporated, for their continued commitment to public service. Blame that young man right here who wrote those talking points. Because I know what happens when you get it wrong. Man, I got to go home and deal with this with my aunt and some other folks too. All right. Listen, this project includes some very important components, including 18 permanent supportive housing units. And it's just yet another example of what it means to provide quality, affordable housing to some of our residents in the District of Columbia, particularly those residents who are seasoned and who've been here for a really long time. We appreciate that our seniors have made monumental contributions to the District of Columbia to help us be here where we are today in 2020. We know that our seniors are one of the more vulnerable populations who've experienced the brunt of this COVID-19 pandemic. And so it just gives me even more delight to join you all here today to be able to come and cut this ribbon. So I'm going to end my remarks there, say thank you one more time, and thank you, Mayor Bowser.
Thank you. Thank you. So my daughters remind me all the time that women run the world. And I see that, I experience every day with the ladies who are Dante's partners in Feria. We see Natalie, we see Tessa, we see Monique, we see Yolanda. They definitely run me. And working with our partners at Delta, all we wanted to do was make sure we do right by you all. And it is our hope that you feel that we've actually done right by actually delivering on the promise of putting this building together. And in addition to other strong women, we have Director Polly Donaldson at DACD, who is also very, very dedicated, very strong, who also reminds me that we have to put the money to use. And to cap it all, we are being led by a wonderful, amazing, strong, dedicated, dare say, beautiful Mayor of the District of Columbia. Ladies and gentlemen, our Mayor, Muriel Bowser.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I am just really delighted to be here. And if you're like me, you may have had an experience in the district where you've driven past the corner a million times and then something changes and then you can't remember what it looked like before. That's the experience that I had here approaching this beautiful building. It was just a couple of years ago when we were together with a sea of red. And I knew then that we would have a wonderful partnership with the Delta Housing Group. And I knew then that it would probably be the first of many more, I dare say, because I knew that those Deltas, they had a lot of money to invest in Washington, D.C. And I knew another thing. They were mission-driven. And I love partnering with mission-driven organizations that are more than about the bottom line. They're about leaving something better than how they found it, and making sure that the blessings that they have enjoyed are passed down to other Washingtonians. And that's what we're celebrating here today. I am proud of my affordable housing team, led by our Deputy Mayor at DMPED, John Falchicchio, Polly Donaldson at DHCD, Christopher Donald at our Housing Finance Agency. We've done big things in 6 years, and we're going to do even bigger things in the years to come. So I thank you for sticking with us, for building this beautiful building, making sure that senior Washingtonians are getting new buildings too. Let's hear it for DC seniors. And also, I've talked a lot, but I want to hear from the Deltas. And they are going to be represented by Marlene White, who is the Vice President of the Delta Housing Corporation.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser. Great to be here. What a wonderful day today. I'm so glad to be here to celebrate with the other directors. To the Honorable Mayor Muriel Bowser, Ward 5 Councilman Kenya McDuffie, and our partners, and all invited guests, I bring greetings on behalf of the Delta Housing Corporation of the District of Columbia. The current officers are Trinette Smith Campbell, who's president. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to be here with us today. Myself, Marlene White Price, vice president. Karen Turner, treasurer. Angela Jackson, secretary. Priscilla Jameson, assistant secretary. The directors include Katrina Jones, Karen Jones Herbert, Cameron Kellum Cloman, Michelle Robertson, Natasha Osborne, Pamela Robinson, and Antoinette White Richardson, our immediate past president. I serve on the Building Development Committee along with Katrina Jones as chair, and Trinette Smith Campbell and Angela Jackson. I also want to recognize our President Emeritus, Alice T. Davis. Cherie Jackson, President of the Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter, of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Barbara Mosley Davis, a founding board member, as well as past directors in attendance. As we meet this great milestone, I want to acknowledge two people who began this journey with us but are no longer with us now. Cheering us on, Maxine H. Jackson, past president of Delta Housing Corporation of the District of Columbia, and Todd A. Lee, past executive director and CEO of the Delta Housing Finance Agency. We are here today, roughly 2 years ago, 1 month and 18 days after breaking ground to construct a new 179-unit apartment building that preserves more affordable housing in the District of Columbia. At the groundbreaking on October 1, 2018, Chair of the corporation's Building Development Committee, Katrina Jones, remarked at that time, the project was in the process for about 8 years. So we have been on this journey for quite some time, and it's a worthwhile endeavor to pursue a mission that remains relevant and important today. As a nonprofit, the Delta Housing Corporation of the District of Columbia was incorporated over 44 years ago with a mission to provide decent, safe, sanitary, affordable housing for the elderly and people with disabilities in the District of Columbia. Delta Towers Apartments at 1400 Florida Avenue opened in 1981 with 150 affordable units. With pride, we want you to know that we are moving all of the current residents of Delta Towers to the new building at 808 Bladensburg Road Northeast. Cutting the ribbon on this new building is a dream made real. As a testament to our remaining focus on a vision and strategic direction set many years ago, the wise women of the established Delta Housing Corporation of the District of Columbia. As we celebrate today, we are blessed and privileged to have a quote from our President Emeritus, Alice T. Davis. In her words, I am grateful to my fellow sorors for building on our legacy at Delta Towers by developing a second housing project, Fortitude. Decent, affordable housing for seniors is in critical need in the Washington, D.C. area. It is a lifetime allowing for independence and autonomy for many seniors. At the age of 97, I am happy to be included in the opening of Fortitude, hoping Delta will be part of many more groundbreakings. Senior lives matter. Hashtag, she raises the bar and expectations for us again. Once again, I thank you all, and it is a pleasure to be able to be here with all of you today and celebrating.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So I guess we're going to pop some confetti. But while we're gearing up, again, big thanks to our architect who helped put this beautiful building together. I see Tom in the building. KDG, thank you very much. Buzzuto Construction, our general contractor. And of course, I could not leave here without thanking our other partners part of this transaction, Gilbert Development Company, for all that they've done to help move this project forward as well in their support. Thank you. All right, so let's do this.
You twist.
Ready? You just twist.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Oh, those things are loud. They're pretty. Ooh. Oh, okay. Questions. First from the press and then from the community. Questions. Any questions? Yes, Sam.
I'd like to ask a little bit about the schools. It seems that there was somewhat of a rocky start yesterday. One school apparently didn't have enough people to open, and there were, I guess, 25 schools that opened, and I guess 4 did not.
I don't know that I would call that rocky. I would call it phase 1 of our CARE classrooms opening. I don't know the details of the other 4 schools yet, but I'll get a deep dive with schools officials tomorrow.
So how would you characterize it then?
I would characterize it as 400 kids coming back to school in sparkling school buildings with caring adults. It has always been intended to be a ramp up. We will welcome more students after Thanksgiving, and we will work through our response to this pandemic to make sure our children are in nurturing and safe environments. Yes.
Mayor Bowser, could you comment on the COVID numbers today? Again, we're back. We have 2 metrics now that are in red. Yesterday, you acknowledged that you're considering interventions. How much closer are you now? Can you give us any more specifics on when those might be announced? And just what are we to take that? I think we're now 8 or 9 days of trending in the wrong direction, just about every single metric.
Well, Mark, I think if you watch TV, and I know you do because you're on TV, I was watching your network actually this morning. I couldn't get back to sleep. And for 2 straight hours, there was a discussion about national trends and regional trends in COVID. So your question is really a national question. What's happening in state by state and jurisdiction by jurisdiction with numbers increasing as we go into the winter. So just like everybody, we're watching our metrics very closely, and we're planning or we're evaluating interventions that can drive our numbers down. What no one should expect, however, is that anything that we would do will stop more cases from happening, because that's what we see. So like in the spring, our job will be if we can blunt the increase, and that's what we're looking to do. We will make that announcement just as soon as our analysis is complete. I don't mean to be coy, but I want to make sure we get it right. And as soon as we have that, we will make those announcements to affected constituencies and to the public. All right, last question.
Could I follow up on a topic from yesterday, the $100 million grants?
Yes.
Just one question that I apologize if you answered yesterday and I missed, but can you tell us how much each individual grant might be, how much each business could expect? Is there a range? Or?
Sure, there is a range. It's on our website at coronavirus.dc.gov. And let me just say a little bit more about what Mark is referring to. He asked about our bridge fund. We announced it yesterday. Councilmember McDuffie joined us and was the lead author of the authorizing legislation for the bridge fund. It's 4 individual funds, basically. And the idea is we need to help our businesses bridge to the implementation of the vaccine. And that's what we're attempting to do. We're focused on those industries that have been hardest hit by COVID. I like to say they were the first to be shut down and probably the last to reopen. They're in entertainment venues, hotels, restaurants, and I'm missing one, and retailers. So that's the fun. I'm going to ask Deputy Mayor Falchicchio to say a little bit more about the ranges and how many businesses we expect to support.
So as the mayor said, we have posted on the coronavirus.dc.gov website. If you go to the recovery page, we have a chart which will actually list out for each of the 4 programs how much the individual businesses that apply and that receive an award could get. It tells you what the maximum will be. It actually also tells you what the minimum would be. So we have that posted there. What we'll start doing is we'll start accepting applications for the hotels first. That's the first one. And the reason we're doing that is because some of the funding for the hotel program is actually CARES Act money, so federal dollars that need to be dispersed this year. So we have that all laid out on the website. For more information, coronavirus.dc.gov/recovery.
Can I follow up on that point? So there seems to be a sense of urgency to spend, I guess, before you lose this money, the CARES money. Is that right?
The CARES money does have to be dispersed before the end of the year, correct?
Okay, so so how much of this $100 million is CARES money?
So $20 million is CARES money, $80 million is local funding.
So it would be the $20 million you would disperse first.
Correct. The hotel program, as an example, is a $30 million program. $20 million of that is CARES Act money, so federal dollars, which must be dispersed this year.
And I know you have it posted on the website, but could you tell us what the ranges are, what individual businesses could expect to get, ballpark range?
So I just want to, I don't want to go through each and every one of them, because what I'll tell you is that for the hotels, there's a specific range, and that allocation could vary depending on the number of rooms. For the for the restaurants, there's another range. For retail, there's another range. What we see is for like restaurants, they would go up to as much as $50,000, and we see for other categories, there's going to be other amounts. So it's best for folks to look at the website. The other thing we want to stress is that for each program, there will be different allowable uses for the funds as well. And the reason we want to do that is, as the mayor said, this is a bridge from now until a time where we have the vaccinations widely dispersed, but also a time for us to support our workers. So we're going to have different elements within each program to make sure that the funds that are dispersed to these businesses make it to the workers.
Okay. Yes, Sam.
Brief question for the Vice President of the Delta Corporation. You said that you're moving all the people from that building into this building?
That's correct.
What happens to that building?
Well, we haven't decided that yet, to be determined. But we know we're going to put it to good use, and it's going to provide housing for people who need it.
There you go. You got the question of the hour, Sam. Look at Sam. The $64,000 question. Thank you, everybody.